Just, I mean, want to go over the future, we can go one change. That's just like something in the end.
Well, once you do that, once you
Girl said
complete
it's the same
something,
thing.
you don't even know what you're talking about again. Yeah, just run along. It's basically the substance.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Oh, right. Well.
So I started, well, yeah, I was looking at it.
Right,
It's the same style.
pretty much.
Okay.
We don't-
Well, 1 minute of,
Let's see if I can do it.
welcome everyone. Hi. Madam Clerk.
Lisa Denunzio Blair Clerk. I'll take the roll. Mr. Bernard.
Here.
Mr. Hernandez.
Here.
Mr. Malloy.
Commissioner Malloy's excused today. We're going to move forward with the agenda. Item number 1, dispense reading the minutes of the workshop dated August 19 and the regular meeting dated August 20, 2025. 2, approve bills. 3, to approve additional appropriations submitted by county auditor between the dates of August 14 and 20th, 2025 through 2025. Or through transfer appropriations submitted by the auditor's office between August 14th and August 20 of 2025. Any commissioner, you have any questions on this? 5, Sheriff, do you want to take this?
Yes.
Sheriff Taylor, Commissioner's Office. The reason this is on here is just to amend the dates back to a calendar year. A few of the municipalities, they would have had to change their ordinances to accommodate the 25 through 26. So we're just reverting back to the original way it was done. That's all it is.
Thank you, Sheriff. Mark, you want to handle this or?
Yes, you want me to read this or
Well,
like do, it's just basically all it is, we've, Chief and I have changed the contracts for the SROs. They were paying way below market price, a lot was coming out of our pocket to help the budget or whatever. Now they have to cover the entire cost along, the patrol car if it's used in it in other situations, but they have to pay the entire cost of the deputy, what it's costing us. There's also language in there that before that they didn't pay overtime, so they had football games or something, they were getting our officers and we were paying time and a half eating it. That's all been changed, they're paying exact cost, they have to pay overtime. And then the last one on there, which is the Big Falls patrol for the Newton Township, 20 hours a week. That's the only different one. That would be number 8. You'll also see that the price is a little bit different on the school district. You'll see an administrative fee on some and some not an administrative fee on the others. The reason that is when Chief and I met with them, we told them that there was going to be a 10%, 5% administrative fee. But since it was so late in the negotiations, if they couldn't afford it, we'd waive it for this year, not next year. We put our cards on the table and let them know, you have the option. So some took the option to pay it and some didn't, but they do have to pay it. They do have to pay it next year.
Yeah, my understanding is some of that is hinged on grant monies too, if they didn't.
Right.
You know.
Right, because they already got their grants and stuff or whatever. It's, a lot of, obviously this late in the year, people's budgets are already made and then it was tough. It was tough enough for them that they were getting a significant raise. I mean, some as high as 20,000. Right. So, 20,000 a year per deputy is a pretty significant raise. And so we did give them the option. We even put our cards on the table, like I said, we told them that there's a 5% administrative fee that we're charged, that's on your contract. If you can't afford that, we'll waive it the first year. So, you know, they actually had to cross out.
Right, and we were actually losing money
Oh, absolutely.
and resource, past several years, and so this brings SO up to
We're
date.
not losing any money anymore.
Good.
And really losing money on the overtime because they could request an officer for a football game or some other event, and that's time and a half of probably. So that's, I mean, now you're really losing money, and they could use them as much as they wanted if the old contracts. Now, they can use them as much as they want, but they gotta pay.
Yeah, we want to cover it, but we don't want to go in a hole.
Not going in the hole, and we were going in a hole with that.
And does that, Mark, take us all the way through,
All the way through the senior year.
I'll mention the schools, that are involved: Joseph Badger, Kinsman, Matthews, Portland, the Trumbull Career and Technical Center at Warren, Southington Local, Southington, Bloomfield, Mesopotamia, in North Bloomfield, Bristol, Bristolville, Champion Local and Warren, and Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, Warren, Newton Falls, in Newton Falls, Ohio.
In New Falls Village, that's the officer patrol, that's not an SRO.
Oh,
Township, I'm sorry.
Are these all the township or all the schools that you're under contract within? Or so,
Yes.
so the rest of them. Rest of the school districts that aren't on here don't use it.
Dale Dorman, Chief Sheriff's Office.
Dale,
Most of
give
the
your
other,
name, Bill.
Dale McDormand, Chief Deputy Sheriff's Office. Most of the other schools contract with municipalities, if they sit within a municipality. We have one contract hanging out there, contacted by Maplewood, who may want an SRO. But most of the other schools that have a contract, like Lakeview has Court,
Mineral Ridge has Weathersfield.
believe they do.
Thank you, guys. Mark, I think you're 9 too.
Yeah, that's David Bobby for the jail, and all that basically is we have a contract with them, and there's just we brought it to the law office, they looked it over and everything, Bill looked it over, and that, it's just they're adding in tablets now, that so that we don't have all these people coming in, that they have a certain amount of time to talk to whoever's incarcerated with tablet. And this is just to add on, you know, like they used to be for phone calls, whatever. It's just to add on the other service if they want to use it.
How we coming with the scanner, Mark? Is there any updates on, the security?
Jail scan?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
done.
sorry?
It's done.
Oh, it's done? Oh, great.
It's done.
Then we got a grant for $5,000 back.
Yes.
5,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that was great. That was awesome.
but it's done, and we got, of course, a $5,000 back
Nice.
on top of that.
Very nice.
So that's all that is.
Okay, Daryl's not here, Cheryl. Cheryl, do you?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
explain this. Sheriff's Taylor Commissioner's Office. We were contacted by Family Court. They have weeds and whatnot, and there's cracks in their parking lot, and it's all pretty much all the way around. So we did a little digging, and it's not been sealed since 2019. So it's getting pretty bad. When you're supposed to do them every couple of years, you're supposed to seal it, fill the cracks and whatnot. So Family Court is willing to pay for half if we pay for the other half. So our cost would be $3,880. And one paving. And that's the entire parking lot.
Comes from,
We'll just have to take out a general fund.
I have no issue with that, commissioners.
I think it's something that's probably done.
I
Need
mean,
to be done.
if it doesn't look, yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
looking
bad.
bad.
Yeah. So they were kind enough to like
And you
split
looked
the
at,
paving.
Daryl's not here.
Yes, they did. They did. They brought me the quote and all the documentation. So So it's the front, the side and the rear. So it's the whole complex.
3880, our portion.
Yep.
Okay. Dimitri.
Yes, sir. Dimitri Leotis, Workforce Development. Every 4 years, the federal government, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act requires the state to create a 4-year plan as to what their activities, the workforce is going to be. And the state also requires the local areas to create a regional plan. The state designates certain areas as the region, and then we create a collaborative, a 4-year plan of how we're going to collaborate, share resources, best practices, things in that region. We are called the East Ohio region, which includes Trumbull, Mahoney, Columbiana, Stark, Tusk counties. So what we did is we take some of the state plan and incorporate it into ours. We also get data from the state concerning employment statistics and data. We, for our area specifically, put into the plan as well. And then at the end, even though we do have a regional plan, at the end of each of the document, each local area has their own specific plan of what they're going to do, how they're going to collaborate and stuff. So we are probably the last few pages of that document. So what we do is we give to we have a 30-day comment period, which it's done and gone. We went through our board, the board approved it. I sent it out to commissioners a while back at the beginning of the 30-day period. I hope you guys were able to take a quick look at it, but I think it's a good document. And what we didn't do is we didn't recreate a wheel. We made sure that everything we did was in line with the current plans that are out there, Eastgate, critical community needs. So we make sure we put those things in there as well, to identify that to stay in line with the current other regional.
Very good. And then we have the appointment of the following here. Dimitri, we discussed this a little bit last week.
Yes, sir.
And Commissioner, I looked at this, I have no issue with any of them, especially Dimitri. But we don't need to go through all the names right now, but we're doing. Do you want to go through the names?
Was there, they're
The
all
new members are an
Yeah.
appointment.
Yes, and then the second,
Then
the
the
next one are reappointments, and we need them all. Of course, we do have a
Right.
specific composition we have to here by 51% has to be voters, because our board is employer driven, so we have to make sure like. So, so this will take us through because we are anticipating some we got a lot of business representation because we anticipate some businesses to fall off.
Yeah.
By retirement, not by choice. So we have a few businesses that are representing them that are retiring here in the next few months. So this kind of covers those individuals. By retirement.
Okay. And the appointments are for a 2-year term.
Initial appointments under the bylaws, initial appointments are 2 years and reappointments are 3 years.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Dimitri.
Thank you.
Gary?
That's how
We have that annexation.
it's actually, the county engineer, when they reviewed the petition map, they had some issues with the map that they wanted to clear up, so they resubmitted
Okay.
a map that, and then this needs amended on the agenda for accepting the amended map.
Okay. Gary? Yes?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. Gary Schaefer, Engineer's Office. 15 is to concur with our office and close, record 5 Points Road, for the annual Apple Festival at the Harbor. Comes up every year. 16 is to concur with our office and grant the special hauling permits listed. 17 is to concur with our office and grant, the right-of-way permits here submitted by Enbridge.
Good. Any questions, Commissioner? Everything good? Thank you, Gary. Okay, Carrie's not here. 18 to receive and place on file monthly activities report for the Veteran Service Commission and the Veteran Service Office for the month of July 2025. 19, Mike?
Commissioners, I would like to table 19. The reason, Diane does not have the financial report done yet. She will have it done by the end of today, tomorrow. So can we table the number 19 until the next meeting?
That'll be 2 weeks,
Right.
right? Because we're gonna skip.
Yeah, I know you're skipping the meeting, but is that a problem?
No,
As long as it's not a
No,
problem
no.
for you.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem for me, but that way,
Okay.
if there's any information that crosses, you can ask both of us.
Okay.
And then at the end of the meeting, I know you have your comments section. I do have 3 comments.
oh, okay, that's, okay. Andrew, are you gonna take over for the planning?
Sure.
Nick isn't here, Julie's not here.
Andrew Svekovich, Planning Commission. So the current fee schedule for floodplain administration was adopted back in March of 22. The Planning Commission Board passed a resolution of support on August 12th in favor of the commissioners adopting the revised floodplain fee schedule, which I believe was discussed in last week's workshop. Our office conducted an analysis of floodplain related fees and services for the surrounding 4 counties and found that the proposed fee schedule more closely aligns with those communities. So I'm here to answer any questions. Anybody has?
Yeah, it's good for you, it's good for us.
Easy
I
enough.
appreciate it. Thank you. Commissioner, while we're on planning commission, I had a call from Nick Goggins. We were supposed to have on the agenda a lake to river agreement, and due to some technical issues, they wouldn't have it. We're not going to have that on our agenda until 2 weeks from now. Recall the meeting with Lake to River that we had for contractual purposes. I just thought I'd mention that while we're in the planning mission. Okay. I don't know, Alex isn't here. And Daryl's not here, so I'll read this, to approve the transfer of Mr. Wellen Lampley, custodian, pay range 3, 11 years, $19.73 for the position of groundskeeper, pay range 4, 11 years at $21.29 with the building and vehicle maintenance department, which would be effective September 2nd of 2025. Mr. Lampley was the only ASME 2493 qualified bid for the posting. So,
You need a building grounds personnel.
yeah,
You need.
Gary,
Gary Newbrow, sanitary engineer. Commissioners, I'm gonna let Bob take these issues.
oh, why are you sitting over there? You got,
But I can't sit at the head.
Sit at the committee.
Sit there.
I was by Shara.
I'm gonna
Step by.
what the heck, I should have taken
You
the
should
vice
have.
president seat, right?
Bob Myrano, sanitary engineers controller. Item number 22 is to rescind the personnel action of a transfer for Mr. Noah Gilger. A couple weeks ago, we promoted him to chief operator of Mosquito Creek wastewater plant. And he determined that he did not want the position anymore, so it was a union job, he had 5 days to let us know, he let us know. So he's returning to his package. And then
Dude,
So where does that leave you?
was that leave an opening at the,
the job requires a wastewater 3 license, and we have 3 employees that have wastewater 3 licenses, and none of the 3 are interested in this position. We had a posting for it for the outside. So we'll we won't be filling the foreseeable future.
Who will handle that? Or just,
Our manager.
you think is it because of the job or the pay or pay range?
Well, there's, in the wastewater industry, class 3s and 4s are very hard to come by. So it just wasn't enough money for the responsibility for the staff.
Not enough people available.
Yeah,
Position,
very,
let alone
very
the money.
very small pool of applicants in the state. And then item number 23 is an employee transfer of Mr. Randy Long from the position of meter reader to senior meter reader. We had 4 internal union bids. Working with Alex, 2 of the people did not meet the qualifications of 1 to 3 years prior meter reading experience. So we had 2 candidates that met the experience requirements. We gave them a test, and 1 candidate did not pass, 1 passed.
So we're still down.
So we'll be looking to add a meeting in the next week or so. That could have posted up. We assumed we saw another union person.
And that pay range for a senior meter reader is 21.
It's a pay grade 6. So he's going from $20.48 to $21.60.
And Gary?
Gary Newbrow, sanitary engineer, commissioners, item 24. This is a joint resolution between my department and the highway engineers. This is our slate of projects we'll be applying to District 6 Public Works Integrating Committee for the OPWC grant fund for this funding round. And Range Drive is our #1 project. The highway engineer road improvement project is the second one, and Caleb Road sewer project is our #3 project. Last year, Crane Drive wasn't successful because at that time we have procured a CDBG grant, and they had the permits to install in place. That's not our percentage of match. Well, increases how much other funds we have in it besides OPWC. And so it should score better this year, and hopefully we're gonna get Green Drive.
What's the cost of the grant?
We're going for 750,000 for Green Drive and another 750,000 for Caleb. And how much are you going for, Gary?
We're gonna be requesting about 800,000.
Okay. We're looking at total funds, 2.3 million between the 3 of us. And it's my understanding, Gary, that there are more funds than normal in the fund this year.
About 1.4 million additional funds this year.
Okay.
So we can get all 3 of them.
Yes, I mean, that's the idea.
Commissioner, if I may.
Yeah.
Gary Schaefer, Engineer's Office. Our 2026 road program, I reserve the right to make changes to this last second, but as of right now, we're looking at doing Lyons Road east of 46 and Hubbard Majory Road from 62 to Chestnut Ridge. Those are the 2 roads we're putting forward in our 26 road.
Thanks. Good. Thank you, Gary.
When will you know, Gary?
This is a months long process. We have this resolution, our pre-applications are due September 11th. I already have mine written. I'm not sure the highways. We submit those. Then you have 3 different scoring rounds. So we won't know until, I'd say, November, sometime in November
It'll be
here.
November, yeah.
Yeah. Know which one's good.
Good. Commissioner, while we're on the subject, and I wanted to ask Gary about it. What is, we've been having some issue with this Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Can you, I mean, what's all this guy seems to be very disgruntled. And I don't know,
if we want to discuss it. Do we want to discuss that now?
well, there's an issue that something about, I don't know, I know that, the sheriff's office had to get involved.
Yeah, Gary Newbrow, sanitary engineer. He is one of the property owners that are within the scope of the project for Meadowbrook project space out there.
Which we had a meeting.
Yes, we had a public hearing. And he is trying to make the argument that since the health department's consent decree was, what would you say, satisfied and released, that the one for the sanitary sewer, he's thinking that we aren't under a consent decree. And then
Okay,
in
so
the public
that-
hearing, we were telling him this is a consent decree project, and he's contending that it's not, when it really is. We even had the EPA chime in and tell him, yes, this is a consent decree, county has to build it, you know, for court order, so on and so forth, and he's of the opinion that that's not true. He's also of the opinion that the trees we took out in the right of way in front of his house were his. They were in the public right of way and we were allowed to take them out. He's saying he doesn't want anybody on his properties, so on and so forth. But anyway, yeah,
But we have
And-
responded to him, right? We have,
oh yeah, everything he's
Commissioner
asked
LaVoy
for.
responded to him as well.
Yeah, if he asks for a public record or something, I give it to him. I try not to be confrontational with him.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, thank you. I just
okay,
wanted a little bit of information. I've seen some emails.
yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna move on to 25, which we will enter into executive session, high rise code 12122G1. And then we will exit from executive session 12122G1. I don't know if this is Alex or Gary. Do you want to comment on this?
Commissioners, yes, well, we're just, Gary Newbrow, sanitary engineer, this is, standard procedure here when we, this is what an employee, we're asking for an executive
This is
session.
on our agenda.
Yeah, it's for the executive session.
Yeah, and after we come out of the executive session, this is the proposed
All right.
resolution after we come out.
I don't know why we should have it on here. But, okay. That's enough. Thank you, man. Okay. Buckeye. Is he here? No,
You don't see him?
Buckeye's not here and we do
You just
have
want-
another Buckeye case. It is coming at 11:30.
Yeah.
So we are like ahead of schedule, you know. Raymond, do you have any questions? Commissioner, do you have any questions? Anything that we can, anybody? Michael, you have,
I have a couple.
all right, Mike, go ahead. Mike.
Take one of those as to the commission. Right, at least I have.
Prosecutor, Lisa.
Okay. So. I do have three comments, but first one is on August 22nd, which was last Friday. We had something called a TAR review. Review from ODOT. Commissioner Bernard was in it for the first 2 hours. I don't know if you want to do any comments first before I go through this or.
Well, at the end.
What's that?
I said I will.
Okay, all right. So, at the end of the review, they basically, people that were there, went through, gave us our issues that we have. So, this paper is just, rough draft. We presently have like 5 issues and 3 recommendations that they have for us. Now, if the idea is that if we can correct these issues before the next 2 weeks, they don't become issues anymore, then they're just complete. And several of these things that are on here, I definitely can complete, we can. So for example, the procurement, in the procurement policy, what they were talking about was they want job titles in the procurement policy, not team member or staff member, which is what's in it right now. So they just want the verbiage change, which is no big deal. So a lot of these things it will be corrected probably before they come out with the first directive, about 2 weeks. Also, this morning, I did send them everybody's email address, commissioner's email address, because the commissioners will receive these issues originally, and I get a copy also. And then at that point, we have 45 days to correct whatever issues are. So that's basically.
And these are all able to be,
I attended the meeting and from what I heard, observed was, I think our reporting, the county's doing is very, very good. There were some minor issues. And like Mike said, instead of having a person's name, they want the position there. In case that person leaves, well, the position stays there. But they were minor. And I think overall, I think the state, OT, Department of Transportation, I think they were happy with our reporting. And Mike and Diane, what questions they had the answers ready available for them. So I think it's rewarding that that Mike and Diane, they do a pretty good job on reporting. The state reflect.
okay. So these you feel you can get done within.
There's a couple of them on here, like for example, there's one on here that what they would like to see is ADA training, all the contractors.
Oh,
Now that's gonna take a little bit, so that's gonna probably go into an actual finding, and then we'll have 45 days for them to do it. So I've got to send a comments. Yeah, so I have to send an email, and I'll do it this week, to the contractor saying, we need you to have ADA training by this date, whatever date. it is.
yeah. Where do they take that training?
They're gonna have, I asked that question to the RLS, and oh god, they said they've got to find somebody.
Okay.
And they do this, what, every 3 years?
Every 3 years, so they'll be coming back in about 3 more years. At least all be cleaned up, but that's really the big one. The other one that's on here, if you see it, it's regarding Sunset Transportation and their SAM.gov. Interesting part is they've been at SAM.gov since 2023, but ODOT and RLS could not find their information.
Oh,
So I've got a phone call into Sunset. We're gonna give them the information. We're gonna take care of it. Okay, that's one that can be cleaned up. Because I talked to them today, they've been in there since 2023. It's just trying to find it. And I'm not sure what the hiccup is. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of these things are just.
I've noticed that they want the contractors to list the county on the insurance
Yeah, so that would be,
or any kind of insurance related issues. Okay.
yes. Okay, so
Thank you.
that's that one. The other two things are, just a quick update on the coordination plan. There were 2 meetings last week regarding the coordination plan, public meetings. And it's going along well. At the meeting that I went to here in Trumbull County, there were about 10 people that attended. They received about 130 to 140 surveys back, which is good. However, in Mahoning County, which is a much bigger, not bigger county, but the ratchet's a lot higher, they only received 83 back. So it's kind of interesting that our county is getting more surveys back. The other interesting part would be this plan is supposed to be done October 21st. They're actually for an extension for different reasons. The part that I did find out was if they ask for extension, can we still apply for 5310 money and still be granted? Because one of the things you have to have is a coordination plan in place. And I was told by the person from RLS, Julie Schaefer, that yes, because they're in process with the plan, I might have to, when I do the application, say, in the old plan, it was this number, and the new plan is this. So that's, I'll have to address that. So the answer, we still can apply for the 5210. And that's my last thing here. In September, ODOT is asking for the letter of interest for the rate cycle. So I'll be applying for that in September sometime. Yeah, so that's all I have.
Pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Sheriff, welcome. Did you have something? Or,
Yeah, so we sponsored, Sheriff Wilson, from the County Sheriff's Office. We sponsored the first annual car show, Sheriff's Office this past Saturday. And all the proceeds went to benefits the state. So we didn't actually take any money, and it was all handled through them, registration fees, collecting the money, basket raffles, everything. But we thought it would be a great idea to support that group for their cause. So our first show, we had beautiful weather, 120 cars show up. And, Commissioner Bernard showed up, he can attest to how many vehicles were there and all the people that were out in the city. And not only did it benefit someplace safe, and we get publicity from it as well, because we had our officers working, and some of them, and some of our people donated their time to come out. But it brought so many people downtown to the downtown businesses as well, so they all benefited from that. And I want to thank the city, they bent over backwards for us. They shut off High Street from Park and Mahoney Avenue from High Street down to Market. And we had cars lined up all the way around the park. We had vendors, and it was at a great time. So we're hoping that it grows next year. I'd like to make it wrap all the square eventually. I think that'd be a great event. We actually have community people just come out and they said, "Well, thanks for having us downtown. We could just get here real quick. It was central, and they really enjoyed themselves. We enjoyed having it. But we were blessed with the weather that we had too."
that's great, Sheriff. And just to commend the Sheriff's Department on the fact that what you've been doing with a lot of these benefit related. I see the sheriff doing a lot of, a lot of events. And Someplace Safe is a wonderful, absolutely wonderful service that they have.
Thank you.
Here in our county.
Thank you, Commissioner. And we've been involved in numerous events across the town, from the Oxborough Semespo to National Night Out, Liberty, Niles, to school events, to Warren City's school function that they had at the school back here on the square last week, as well as Grace AME Church on our main. We were there present for their youth day. So I truly believe the best way to get results in changing a lot of behaviors by starting with the children at the 4 or 5 year old level, and really, where they're indoctrinated by their environment or social media, actually taught them, let them realize police officers are human and we're just people too, other than we have another job to do, where they think we're the bad guys you see on TV, social media. So that's where our goal is for next year. My personal goal is to get involved in more children's programs. This year was focused on trying to stay under our budget, save the money, getting some people hired, getting equipment, and done a lot of this just through grants and management to save overtime comp hours. And I think we're still down 58,000 in overtime.
Actually, I ran the numbers, David, from the sheriff's office, $79,500 less in overtime so far this year.
I think they're down at those. And we saved 1,000 hours of comp time this year, last year. So we're really, and it's been a lot of work. And I have to tell you, our staff they're just amazing on what these men and women have done for us. But simple management, simple schedule changes can really take that overtime out and really start to make it back our way that we're going to be. And there was no oversight before, but we have oversight and management doing pretty well with that. I think we're still iffy on where we're going to end up. We're really trying hard to do things right. Make it trying to stay close enough where we get.
I want to personally commend the Sheriff's Department on the changes and things that you've been doing and your staffing and who you've hired. And I see a great future ahead for the Sheriff's Department. You've made some drastic change. We've seen them today in the, resource department where we knew we were losing, probably 300s of thousands in the past several years. And this makes a big difference, and also in our budget commissioner and being able to, fund the department where the department actually is doing what it takes to make those cuts so that it's not a, major drain on the general. And moving forward, just a great job.
I don't know if they went over the numbers with you about the contracts from the last administration, how much money we were going to lose. They give you that number?
We talked about that.
You did?
In a meeting we had a while back, we talked some numbers. I don't know, did you want to elaborate on that, Sheriff?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but I think it's close to $784,000 we would have lost if we continued the contracts with the way they were. And we were only getting.
For 1 year?
Yes, we would have lost that this year. So 55% to 56% is what they were recouping off of a contract. So we did have to, and I'm sure you talked about how we increased the cost to some of these facilities that we provide security for, but we weren't making any money. It was just covering what we had to pay our people, just covering our costs. The other thing we did, and I don't know if this was mentioned, is we were able to collect $250,000 from jobs and family services that wasn't billed for the last 3 years. So we found that out, we billed that, and now they got on board paying us. So that's another $250,000 we brought in revenue back to the general fund.
And it's
So
appreciated.
that's like $1 million that you saved in 1 year on showers. Oh, which is.
That and then we brought in our administrative salaries. Sure, it was just $97,000.
I just like to comment on the car show. I was down there Saturday and I thought it was a huge success. Went down there for a few minutes. I ended up staying about 3.5 hours. So it was really exciting. Not only to see all the vehicles that were down there, but just talking with the people. And you had a steady flow of people just circling the courthouse square. And I think you should be commended on putting on the car show and raising some money for someplace safe. What a worthy cause, and I think it's only going to grow for you. And just to comment on your money that you're saving on your budget, thank you, because every dollar you save helps the commissioners with our shortfalls here. So I appreciate it. I'm sure the community appreciates it, and just keep up doing a good job. Thank you.
Sure, we're working really hard to do that.
Great job. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sheriff. John, do you have anything? Mr. Hickey? Not right now? Okay.
I have a little. for
Oh,
our,
yes, you do have some.
Sarah Taylor, Commissioner's Office. We got a report in from Mineral Ridge Historical Society, and they've completed their project. It was a walkway. And they came in under budget, so we got $2,080 some. So just a little update there.
Always great to hear when the money's coming back, Mr. Commissioner.
As long as we get a letter from the
Well, we
commissioner.
need that letter. We definitely
If
need
we can
that.
get something else going, it's gonna be a very, very good thing. Sure. Okay.
All right, Gary Newbrow, Center
Hey,
Engineer.
Gary.
Commissioner, just to clarify, you mentioned there's no meeting next week?
Yes, we are
Okay,
skipping just so everybody knows, we are skipping well, we're not skipping, but we're due to the scheduling conflicts.
And a holiday.
And the holiday,
okay,
And some staff being off.
okay.
we will
I've already
resume.
wrote some agenda items for next week. I just gotta change the date, that's all. Yes.
Now, while we're on that subject matter too, because Lisa, you had the number. How many meetings have we had this year?
Say it's 62 between the workshop meetings.
In special meetings?
Not the special meetings, just the workshop meetings and regular meetings.
Okay. Just only reason I want to point that out is, commissioners are expected to have so many meetings a year. And we are actually over the amount in the 8-month period. Not that just to bring that out to let you know that, listen, we're doing the work that we're supposed to do. And, they're not going to hear that, Commissioner, if we don't say it. So I just thought I'd bring that out.
Well, I think we've all said that, we'll do what we have to do. Better than Trumbull.
Right.
And we're doing it. We're supposed to have a meeting or additional meeting. We're here.
Right. Okay, so Buckeye's not here, Buckeye Pace isn't here.
I did view Buckeye Pace last week at their open house.
Yes.
I would urge all the commissioners to stop by there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
It's quite a facility and, I think it's gonna be an addition to Trumbull County and the service to senior citizens, so. They put a lot of money in there, they have a lot of staff there, and I was probably here for an hour and a half and had a special tour, because I was late getting there, but, it's quite a facility.
And I know you had mentioned, Commissioner, that they actually, they'll transport them to and from, they have showers there,
They have washer and dryer, they're cleaning their clothes, I mean, there's a lot to Buckeye. Case, and I was hoping that he would be here today to explain it, and maybe she'll come next week,
Well,
but.
I think she will
It's
be
already
because it's at
set.
11:30.
Okay.
So we'll definitely, be looking forward to, hear from them. And I think they,
They have a lot of staff on hand every day, they have a doctor there. They have some meds there, I mean, they do a lot.
I think maybe a good goal would be to be able to incorporate what they do and work with senior services to save the county money.
Well, they
Yeah,
can to a certain
you know.
degree because you got private.
Right. And that's like Medicaid issues and Medicare, those kind of things, but
Well, the goal is that they can get down some of those numbers, those home health care, they can get in there and help out. some of
Right.
that. So
anything to benefit the seniors in any way, that
I
we
asked
have
them if they were
service.
gonna open the next facility. Every time we get a facility, it helps the seniors, and that's what it's about.
While we're on the subject, we attended the Scope Center in Howland. That was a very enlightening to see the people that are there playing games and, I mean, very nice facility. They did a great job there. And so it's nice to see where the monies are going and how it's being, delegated to updating those buildings.
I see it small on the senior citizen
Yeah.
Facebook, and that's what it's about, their interaction with each other. I mean, it's just, it's good for them and it's good for the community.
Okay, well, I guess,
Are we
I don't
gonna adjourn or
well, I don't know if we should adjourn or wait for,
recess or what?
Recess.
Yeah,
we need a motion to recess?
Motion to. Make a motion to recess until 11:30.
Second the motion?
Mr. Bernard.
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go back into session.
Again,
Mr. Bernard,
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
yes. Okay, welcome, Carrie.
Marcy,
Oh, I'm sorry, Marcy.
that's all right.
I had
Commissioner.
Carrie
I'll
Delgado
answer-
on my name.
I'm just like.
And she
your
even got her
grandpa.
tag on.
I'll answer anything except don't call me late for dinner.
No,
That's
no.
what my grandpa used to say, so.
I
And
know it's
Marcia.
Marcy. I had
And
Carrie
Marcia.
Delgado.
No worries, no worries. Well, thank you for the invitation
Mhm.
to meet today. I wanted to just share with you, and I had the opportunity to talk with each of you briefly. When a PACE program opens in a community, there's a lot of questions and what's this all about and what's this building and what do they do here? So I thought I would just spend a little bit of time talking with everybody today, just a little bit around our services, our mission, and get into a little bit about the community collaboration, a little bit about who we are, how long we've been doing this, and then get into a little bit of the how is this all paid for in the funding streams, and lastly, the good stuff is what kind of a positive impact the Buckeye PACE program can have on the community. So Buckeye PACE is a part of a national program of all-inclusive care for PACE. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, it's called LIFE. So if you hear me talk about PACE, or if I accidentally say LIFE in the state of Pennsylvania, it's called LIFE because that cool acronym was already taken when PACE came to Pennsylvania. But PACE has been around for over 50 years. I'm going to age myself, but it's as old as I am. So we're over 50 right now. But it started out in a community in California called Onlock. And PACE was started to help families take care of their aging loved ones who lived with them, because they were in that sandwich generation where their aging loved ones started to need some help. They felt that they really couldn't be by themselves at home, maybe during the day that they were aging into needing a higher level of care. So the PACE program started over 50 years ago in this little community and had just an amazing impact on the health and well-being of seniors who were in need, but then also on the caregivers. So I'm sure everybody here has taken care of an aging loved one in some capacity and helping them manage their care and their medical needs. So the PACE program also comes into play as a support to caregivers and their needs and their ability to take care of their family members. So the eligibility criteria is 55 years of age and older. Our seniors that we help in our centers have to be qualified as needing a nursing home level of care. So that's NFCE for short, and that's determined by a level of care that's completed by an RN. The third eligibility criteria is they have to be safe to serve in their home and community. And then any other program agreements with the Ohio Department of Aging. So those are the eligibility requirements. I live in Trumbull County. I've been a resident of Trumbull County over in Kinsman since 2002. And I've worked for my company, One Senior Care, for, my goodness, it's coming up on a decade. So 10 years I've worked for a PACE program, but I've lived in Ohio and I'm going, why? Why isn't this in Ohio? Why am I working for this great program in Pennsylvania, but this is in Ohio? So as I started to kind of research, it came out that there is a PACE program currently in Cuyahoga County called McGregor PACE. I believe they've been in operation maybe about 7 years or so. That was the only PACE program in the state of Ohio. So to back up a couple of years, the Ohio Department of Aging and CMS said, you know what, let's open up the state of Ohio for the program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. So since I live here and my heart is in Ohio, I raised my hand and I said, hey, One Senior Care, the state of Ohio is opening for PACE. And so what happened was anybody who wanted to complete and submit their application for PACE in the state of Ohio had the opportunity to do so. And we we only applied for Trumbull County and then also Mahoney and Ashtabula. And we were awarded those counties by the Ohio Department of Aging and CMS. So we're very excited about that. And what we did as a company is we purchased 3 of the abandoned Rite Aids. And one in each one of those counties because it's super
Nice
important
buildings,
to us. Yes,
Yes.
Super important to us to get back to the community, improve any blight in the community, and living in Rite Aid, it seemed like, or in Ohio, every time I turned a corner, there was a close Rite Aid. So we were able to purchase those 3 buildings, and our agreement or our promise to the state was that we would commit to opening these 3 centers at the same time. And we did that. So about a year later, we had all of our centers ready. We passed readiness with CMS and with the state. And we are set to have our first senior enrollments into our PACE programs on September 1st. And Trumbull County has been one of the busiest counties for me. So what I do, I'm the vice president of marketing, or chief talker, as Commissioner Bernard already knows, I'm a chief talker. I love to talk about PACE and what we do. So PACE is an all-inclusive program that is funded through Medicare and Medicaid. So when one of our seniors is medically eligible for a program, if they don't already have Medicaid, we help them apply for Medicaid, and there's a special long-term care category. Because PACE is a long-term care service, it's covered by long-term care Medicaid. So we help them apply for the long-term care Medicaid. And most seniors who don't qualify for Medicaid in the community will qualify for Medicaid when they're eligible for a PACE program, because the income and the asset threshold is higher. And the state does not consider the spouse's income or the spouse's assets. So each individual senior is looked at as their own, with their own income and assets. So a majority of seniors who don't qualify for Medicaid without the program of all-inclusive care actually will. So we help them obtain that. So ultimately, the PACE program becomes, I don't like to use the word insurer because that's just a cold word and that's not what PACE is. But we become the payer and the provider. And so we don't utilize any senior levy dollars. We're strictly Medicare and Medicaid. If somebody does not have Medicare, that is okay, because everything is paid for with their Medicaid dollars. So we receive one capitated payment each month from Medicare and one capitated payment each month from Medicaid, or Medicaid only. That is what we have to take care of that participant, keep them safe, healthy, independent, and at home. That's our promise, as we call it. When somebody raises their hand and says, I'm starting to get nervous about my ability to be safe, then that is our promise right from that moment. We are highest level of care before a nursing home. We are skilled care in the home. And there's a list of services that we provide in here because there's so much. I've been talking this talk for 10 years and I will always forget something. But we pay for and provide home care, personal care, meals in the home, and medical equipment, medications over the counter and prescriptions, physical therapy, occupational therapy, incontinence supplies, medical supplies, any sort of medical equipment needed in the home. And I say anything else that is going to promote independence in our community. We also have after hours on call for non-emergency. We say if it's an emergency, call 911 and get your patootie to the emergency room. And it's emergency services are covered 100%. I'll talk a little bit more about the cost of things. But it's that 24/7 on call. So if I'm caring for my mom and I help her take her medicines and I say, Mom, did you take your medicines today? Well, I don't remember. Uh-oh. Right. Well, then I can pick up the phone. I get to talk to one of her Buckeye PACE nurses. And if needed, they'll come out and do an in-home visit. Our provider, which could be our nurse practitioner, could be our physician, can also go into the home and do a visit in the home to avoid. Our job is to prevent. PACE is such a full healthcare approach in that it's not focused on just being reactive. It's focused on prevention. So we have this whole entire team of professionals ranging from that physician, that nurse practitioner, provider that we talked about, registered dietitian, social worker, because it's also mental health and behavioral health services, home care coordinator, transportation. We provide through the door transportation. You're going to see our vans buzzing around pretty soon here, and I decorated those, so you let me know if you like them. But through the door transportation, so we take our seniors to and from all their medical appointments, and then to and from our day center. Our day center is what's housed in the Rite Aid locations, and Commissioner Bernard had an opportunity to do a tour and listen to me go on and on and on.
She's
We
very passionate.
try to keep a lid on it a little bit because when I start
Oh,
talking.
no, that's a
faster
good
and
thing. That's not a
faster,
bad thing. That's a
Um,
good thing.
But it's just, I'm very blessed to get to do what I do, and I've heard more than once that we save lives, and when somebody says that, that's the real deal, they really mean that, like, I'm on the front side, I do the intake and the talking and I don't even like to call it marketing, marketing kind of sounds like a scratchy word, but I do all of the outreach, I try to encourage seniors to raise their hand through our messaging, because they don't want to raise their hand, and that's what we do wrong sometimes, is that we don't make them feel safe raising their hand right from the get-go. So when you see one of my advertisements or one of my billboards or one of my newspaper ads, the senior should immediately feel safe raising their hand and asking for help. Because they're fearful. They're fearful that the moment that they say, I think I need help, they're gonna end up losing their home and going into a nursing home. And we say that is, our mission is to keep you at home. We're an alternative to nursing home care. Our mission is to keep you at home in your community. So when you think about this PACE center, it's very secure. So you see my badge that I'm wearing. Everything is secure. So you need a badge or permission to get into the building. And that's for two reasons. That's for the safety of our participants and our staff. But it's also so that our participants are safe, because some of them could be so advanced in their dementia or Alzheimer's that they could be a wander risk. So it keeps them safe. Wide open floor plan we've built now. We have 7 centers in Pennsylvania. We've been providing PACE in Pennsylvania since 2006. And we've built 7 centers there. We're currently providing services in 12 counties. And then in Eastern Kentucky, so we're very much focused on rural. We raise our hand and we want to serve the rural populations because we live here. My in-laws live in rural, they live in Ashtabula County, my mom was coming to Trumbull County for care, my mom-in-law, she was spending sometimes 4.5 hours a day on a van, 3 times a week just to go to and from dialysis because of where she lived. And she was stubborn as all get out, she was not ready for but we take our seniors to and from our day center. There's family style meals, wellness, physical therapy, occupational therapy, different activities every single hour. There's a quiet room. And then we also have, what's different about our senior centers is that I call them like a level up senior center. So yes, it's your traditional socialization and family style meals. What's different about our centers is kind of tucked into the corners. You'll see our crash carts, because we're prepared to handle any emergency. Some of our folks can't even walk. They can't stand their weight. So we have lifts at the centers. We can also put lifts in the home if they need that. In the clinic, we have like a nurse observation area. So that's where our participants will come for their medical appointments, unless they're choosing to keep their community primary care physician. And we also embrace that. And we'll talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But they can come in, they can have wound care, we can do, I say we, there's no we involved, I will not do any of this, but I won't do wound care, I won't do IV antibiotics, but we can also do like IV antibiotics in the home, in the center, EEGs, like some labs, they come right there, they can have their labs drawn, so everything is out of one center. And so when we talk about like the primary care physician, how we collaborate when we come into a community, and this is sort of part where I'm in the middle of right now, is we're getting a lot of calls like, what are you doing? How are you different? Because we can be perceived as competition if we don't get the word out about what we do and how we have to have community partners to be able to deliver our mission. So as we are gearing up for our opening, we already have contracts with all of the major health systems so that there is participant choice. So you don't have to be forced to go to this health system. You can go to any health system that's in our network. You can actually even keep your primary care physician. That's a myth, that you have to give up your primary care physician. We will work with the primary care physician as long as that primary care physician stays in communication with us, because that's the key. We have a table just like this. Every single morning, the entire team that we talked about gets around the table. We talk about who might be walking maybe not quite as straight as they normally do, who had a fall, what are we doing to prevent that, who's in the hospital, who's in the nursing home, what are we doing to get them back home.
So to circle all the way back, that's what I mean by it's a preventative approach to healthcare. We have done things like, my goodness, I've done intakes with my team where we've gone into the home and they have, they're on oxygen and they're heating their home by leaving their oven door open. So since we know that was our top priority, so we put an HVAC system in place because we do not have to pick up the phone and call somebody in another country or another state and say, we want to do this for Mr. Henry. Can we please have permission? Well, prove to us why you need it. We don't have to do that. The team that knows that senior best makes the decisions about that individual's safety and prevention, and money doesn't come to the table. We do not know how much something costs when it comes to the table. Our decisions are only based on being able to keep somebody safe, healthy, and independent at home. So when we come into a community, we're bringing a lot of jobs, a lot of really good professional jobs, everything from high school graduate level work to providers and everything through the spectrum. So we hope to bring that type of revitalization opportunities to the community, but then also reaching out to our community-based agencies and saying, we are serving a different population. So PACE actually provides care to 5%. I always struggle to get this right. So the 5% of people that are using the highest cost of the Medicaid dollars, they're responsible for utilization of 50% of those Medicaid dollars because of their medical complexities and their needs. So with that, with us being a capitated program, we actually save the state's dollars. So you hear Marcy kind of on her social media talking about like protect PACE, right? Because the states right now are going, oh my gosh, Medicaid is known as the Pac-Man of the budget, but we have to protect PACE because PACE actually saves the states a lot of money because it's preventative, because it's capitated, because we do a really great job managing that participant's care, not just because it's decreasing the cost and decreasing utilization. It's our mission. Like, it is our mission to keep our seniors safe and at home because that's the promise that we made them when they raised their hand. So that's a ton of information. I want to say one more thing, and then I'll open up for questions. When we talk about who is eligible for this program, we talked about those 3 criteria, but in the state of Ohio, really wonderful thing is to qualify medically for the PACE program. Yes, you have to be nursing facility clinically eligible. However, in the state of Ohio, that's only 2 deficiencies of sorts in either activities of daily living or independent activities of daily living. So that could be maybe they need help with transportation or groceries or personal care, housekeeping, laundry, just managing their medications. Just 2 of those things will medically qualify them for a PACE program, and we're voluntary. So when somebody raises their hand, we help them move through the eligibility criteria and the enrollment process. But if they get to the end and we say, you're 100% eligible, you meet the qualifications for the PACE program, and you meet the qualifications for long-term care Medicaid to get all of this at no cost. So if they qualify for long-term care Medicaid, we help them, we walk with them the whole entire way. There's no co-pays, there's no deductibles, there's no out-of-pocket expenses for anything. They could need a hip replacement, they could need life flighted, dialysis, everything that you can imagine. And the things that our seniors go too often without that scare me is they go without food or medications. And oftentimes they're choosing, do I buy my medications or do I buy healthy food? And oftentimes they'll make a decision to not buy their medications or try to ration their medications so that they can buy food. And I've been in so many situations where that's so heartbreaking. You don't have to make that decision. You can have it all. Hearing aids, eyeglasses, dentures, dental care, everything is covered 100% when they qualify for that long-term care Medicaid. Now, if they don't qualify for that long-term care Medicaid, they can choose to privately pay for a PACE program with that 1 monthly premium to PACE that covers everything. That's 1 payment, no co-pays, no deductibles, no matter what they need. And it's about half the cost of a nursing home each month. So when somebody is facing a decision between, do I have to go to the nursing home or can I choose PACE? So on average, I'm gonna do my best here because I'm pretty good at this estimating thing, but it's about $6,000 a month out of pocket to pay for 100% of everything with no other bills whatsoever. And sometimes our participants do go to the nursing home because they either need rehab or, but we are the plan, we are the opportunity through our centers and through our teams are going to be able to keep them at home the longest. And all of these services, this is what I call, I think I even told Commissioner Bernard, it's like a served buffet. So as folks are interested in our program, we do assessments, they meet our team, and then we build a care plan. And that care plan is updated every single day, depending on what their needs are. So we'll kind of come down the line, imagine yourself and our team saying that we would like to give you 20 hours a week of home care to help you with this, that, and the other. We'd also like you to come to the day center a couple of days a week, and we would like to provide you with transportation to here, and we want to do these things, and they can say, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. And we still have, that is their right to say no, that is their rights as a participant in our PACE program to take what they want, and then we have to figure it out. If they say no to those things, then we have to go, hey, they said no to this and this, so we have to get creative and think outside of the box as to how to still keep them safe, healthy, and independent, because they have a right, but wheelchairs, walkers, canes. I mean, I know that I'm forgetting things. We talked about the behavioral health and the mental health side of things. That's all covered 100% of the PACE program. And if somebody is still able to attend their own social centers, their day centers in the community, we want to promote that. So if somebody doesn't need the high level of care that our centers provide, and they're still pretty independent going to their own senior centers, we'll get them a ride there. If the bill needs paid, we will take care of that because that's keeping them independent in their own community. And we do have our own vans. We have our own fleet of vans. Our drivers are dual trained, not just as drivers, but also as personal care aides. And so that way we can go through the door, make sure Mr. Henry has everything that he needs for the day. He's turned his oven on, he's taken his medications, he has his phone, his shoes are tied. We can also get him home at the end of the day and make sure that they're tucked in for the day. So no matter what they need, we're there to provide it. I promise you, I was only gonna talk.
No, you're very thorough, well said. But, so I had a question about, is there a certain, number or, how many can you actually service? I mean, is it, 100, 300, 1,000? I mean, how many?
As
Is there-
many as we can keep building for. So,
Is there an
this,
average of certain, I mean, is there a certain average that how many or I shouldn't say patients there, that you care for?
each center, I would say we can provide care for about 200 seniors out of
200?
each center.
Okay,
That means that we only usually have about half the total census on site at one time. Now, once we hit 100, we're already starting to look at like opportunities. You start to creep up to 120, 125. We're starting to look at other buildings in the county and expanding.
okay.
So that way we're always staying in front of the growth. And that's
Right.
what we've done in Pennsylvania. And we figured out how to deliver rural PACE and how to be very successful. In the state of Kentucky, we've just been open over a year. And we opened on July 1st of last year. We were expecting to enroll 3 people a month. And we enroll at the beginning of the first day of every month, but somebody can enroll any time during the year. We were only expecting to enroll 3 center. We're enrolling 10 and 12 a center there because the needs are so high, because no other agencies, community-based providers have the bandwidth or the ability or the funding to go into these difficult homes. Like we bought all-wheel or 4-wheel drive, like UTVs in Kentucky just to be able to get folks from their homes down their driveways to our vans. When I say we truly can go way outside of the box to figure it out, we go way outside the box to figure it out. Like if somebody, we have a lot of senior income-based apartment buildings in the area. Sometimes they're facing infestations of creepy crawlies that the services don't stop with us. We don't just stop because somebody has a bed bug infestation. We suit up, we go in, we eradicate the problem, and they still come to the center on a protocol that protects them and protects our other seniors in the center. But our services don't stop. It doesn't matter if we get a winter blizzard. We just had 5 feet of snow. Some areas had 6 feet up in Erie. And our nurse practitioners, our providers, they're shoveling snow just so that we can get to seniors' homes to make sure that we're doing well checks and to make sure they're getting their medications and that they were getting to dialysis. So we can serve, a long story short, sorry about that, Commissioner, but we can go about 200 census per center. And then what we are doing is we're starting to look at other properties in the community to build up. And we're going back to the state going, hey, state, and we're in constant communication with CMS. There's a lot of regulatory oversight. We have audits and state audits, CMS audits, like we have a lot of regulatory oversight. And we have a really great relationship with all of the states that we work in as a provider that can ramp quickly in areas of need, but do it really, really well while maintaining quality of care. And so in Kentucky, there's only one PACE provider per county in Ohio, and that's how it is in Pennsylvania and in Kentucky as well. So when you're looking for a PACE program, you don't have to choose. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me if you live in Trumbull County. So Buckeye PACE would be the PACE provider in Trumbull County. So there's 6 PACE providers in the state of Kentucky. We're growing 400% faster than they are, and we're in those very rural Appalachian parts of Eastern Kentucky, which does mimic a lot of your area, your geography of Trumbull County. So the fact that we figured out how to reach the seniors, how to provide that great quality care, we're hoping to take that exact game plan and put it here in Trumbull County and just start serving seniors now by collaborating with other communities providers. And I can only speak for Buckeye PACE on these next couple of points because I get the question. I've been in Capitol buildings and all different kinds of situations where the question says, were you nonprofit or private for profit? I'm like, okay, let's talk about that one. We are private for profit. The world of PACE is making a shift from, there's still a high number of nonprofit providers in PACE. There's also now almost an even distribution of private for-profit PACE companies. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to kind of talk through that today. I've been on both sides of that with the same exact company. I've worked with this company for a decade. 3 years ago, we were acquired by a private investment company, and me and probably everybody else went, uh-oh, what does this mean? Uh-oh, like we were in this nonprofit world, in this nonprofit space, just kind of doing our thing and doing it well. And then we all went, uh-oh, you start thinking about your future and the pressures and all of this stuff. Well, I can only speak for One Senior Care. It has been nothing but amazing to have shifted from nonprofit to private for profit when you work for the right company. The mission is like emotional. The mission and what we're able to do now for seniors, the reason why we were able to buy 3 Rite Aid buildings at the same time, build them at the same time, and put all that capital in is because we have the capital available to us, which in turn enables us to do more of the mission in keeping seniors at home. And so I can say, like, I've been on both sides of it with the same company, and 100% of our profits go back, are invested right back into the PACE program. And that's how we can say, let's go do more, because we no longer have to worry about how are we going to do it. Like, let's go do this. And our plan is in the state of Ohio. I know enough to be dangerous about a lot of things. What I will say is the Medicaid rates proposed for PACE programs were quite low, and there was a disparity between where the Cuyahoga County PACE program was and then the proposed Medicaid rate for other PACE programs. We just had a huge celebration just a few days ago. It was released that the state of Ohio increased those Medicaid rates for PACE providers. And so I was just over the moon because what that tells me is thank you, state of Ohio, because what that means is now we are sustainable. I don't think we would have, I'm pretty sure we would not have been sustainable on old rates. We would not have been able to expand like we want to expand. We want to do more. We want to build more. So we just had that great news come down from the Ohio Department of Medicaid with those updated rates. So huge celebration, because the states truly are recognizing that you have to support, by supporting the PACE program, you are saving the state's money. And so that's the message. And by doing a really good job, we're able to do that, keep our seniors at home at the same time. But you also have to work for a company that is invested in partnerships, because let's face it, if a PACE program comes out to community and they're like, we don't need anybody else, we're gonna do it all on our own. Well, good luck, right? Because you can't do it all on your own. You need community partnerships. So when I'm approached by a nursing home and they're going, what are you doing here? Like, you know, I've actually been in nursing homes where I've been asked to leave because we were perceived as a threat. Like, nope, if somebody needs a nursing home, they need to be here with you for that 24/7 care. We are not 24/7 care like a nursing home is. But by the way, would you like to be in our network of providers? Because we're a really great partner and we're a good payer. Would you like to be in our network of providers? Can you help that community-based provider see that story? Home care agencies, home health agencies, we are a PACE partner that will say, we can't do it all on our own. Let's get to know each other so that as we're growing quickly, community transportation, let's get these contracts. And so that we're a true partner in the community as opposed to being perceived as a healthcare provider that's a threat to everybody. We actually want to do the exact opposite. But I can only speak on behalf of Buckeye PACE, not other PACE programs.
Marcy? In these other areas, do they, does the county senior services work along with you? Do you, I mean, because we had you here, you weren't here, but your representatives.
Yeah.
And, you know, our senior services were present out of Diane. And we asked that question, how, I think here, the main thing is just getting the word out to those that need to know about what the service is.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Because I think the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna say, what's available at the county level? And then you're gonna need the county to incorporate somehow or other being able to send it.
Local government, work in conjunction with you? Can they refer people to you? I thought maybe they couldn't.
Yeah,
but-
no, they can't actually. And when you think about, we're truly serving two different populations. When somebody is truly nursing facility clinically eligible and are medically eligible for a PACE program, chances are, in my experience through 10 years, we have great relationships with all of our counties. We get a lot of referrals from them in our other states. That means that Mr. Henry has probably kind of hit the ceiling of the services that they have available to support him. So he might have, 50 hours a week of home care, but they might be having a hard time staffing that, or maybe having it be, or maybe he needs a higher level of care because he's nursing facility clinically eligible. So we can help the county. There's two really big ways that we collaborate with our county government offices and their current, like their aging waiver programs. We become a referral source for them in many different ways. APS cases, so these adult protective cases, where the case managers just don't know what else to do, where they're called. It's like, if anybody can do it, PACE can do it. And I love that. And I love that challenge. So when they are out of resources, they will often make a referral to a PACE program. Or if they have a wait list for services, they will make a referral to a PACE program. And what I say back to them is, we'll take care of them. We've got this senior for as long as you need us to have them. When your wait list opens up and Mr. Henry wants to transition back to your program, we will help him do that. So if nothing else, we say, let us pull that burden and relieve that burden from you, from your wait list services or from whatever other challenges they might be facing, whether it's financial or funding. Come over here and let us help you take care of these folks for a bit of time, and then they can transition back into your program. But it's typical, we'll also send people to them because PACE is voluntary, not everybody's gonna choose that.
I have a couple questions here. First of all, the two that you guys answered was how many people your facility can service. The other one, do you open up an additional sites within the county? And you said yes, that you do. The other question is, how do you determine what location in the county you go to? That's one of my questions. And then the other question is, our senior levy administrator, Diane Jacoby, they indicate to us that they have like a 200 person waiting list for home health care. And I'm just wondering how you could help them out getting some of those referrals in to cut that number down. I'm sure some of it's based on income. They have to qualify with you, but my suggestion would be maybe you need to sit down and talk with her and maybe her advisory panel also. Let them know what you can provide and how we can help the additional seniors in our county.
100%. And ultimately, we want our seniors to age here. We want them to stay in Trumbull County and not leave for resources that might be available in another county. I would love to have that opportunity to talk with her. Now, if they are on a wait list for services that are funded through the senior levy programs, I'm going to assume that there's probably already some income thresholds that they're meeting. That when we talk about seniors for long-term care, Medicaid can earn $2,000. It's $2,901, I think, right now. That's a lot of money. Most seniors do not earn $2,900 a month. And they can have $2,000 in the bank. And they can have a car, and they can have a vehicle. Their spouse can also hold, like, I know enough to be dangerous. I'm not a Medicaid expert. A spouse can also hold quite a bit of money on their own, which does not count again. So if they're on a wait list, my hunch is they're probably already financially eligible for Medicaid to get PACE at no cost. And we could work with Diane and her leaders to start to identify the most frail. So they probably have like an acuity assessment of some sort where they could identify the seniors are the highest need and they could make a referral. When I say just make a referral, it's just a name and a phone number. We don't have to exchange medical information or any HIPAA protected information. It would just be a case manager saying, I've got these 25 seniors and I want to refer them to your program. And then we would complete the level of care assessment. We would take a look at the financials, apply them for that long-term care Medicaid. And then I would also work with these programs to say, PACE is voluntary. If they want to come back to your program, we'll help them do that when a spot is available for them. Now, we also do home care, but if somebody needs 60 hours a week of home care, that tells me that their medical needs are so high and they're probably very high risk for any sort of medical life-threatening emergency, whether it be a stroke, a heart attack, a fall. We want to use our center. But remember that senior can say no and say, okay, but we want them at our center for that supervision, for that clinical intervention, for that safety. Hope that answers the first question there. It would just probably be like regular meetings that I would have with Diane. Did you say her name was? With Diane to really sit down and have a conversation about our program. Whereas I don't get into so much like the nonprofit, for-profit, that, the Medicaid stuff in those situations like I am here with all of you today, because I think that's an important foundation for you all to know and just start to like build that partnership. But then not everybody chooses PACE, even if they're eligible for PACE medically, and they're going to get the program at no cost. They don't have to choose PACE for voluntary. And so we actually make referrals back to the county waiver program. So it's a natural bridge and continuity of care that's just required. We just have to meet each other and start talking about options. Then what goes into choosing our site selections? I know enough to be dangerous. There's my disclaimer. So we have all kinds of pre-work that we didn't have access to before, right? But we do now. we have analytics that we will draw that show like where are the pockets of the seniors that are highest need. So this could be based on whether or not their age, and now, of course, we can't get medical information because that's HIPAA protected. But we try to find the pockets of people and where they live. They're going to be the highest need and likely be dual eligible, and that's where we start. We want walkability. In our Trumbull County Center alone, we had a gentleman from across the street made his way over into our center in his electric wheelchair. And he said, so what do you do over here? I was like, well, come on in, Mr. So-and-so, and learn about us. And he says, you mean you'll feed me here? Yep. Every day? And I was like, every day, we will feed you here every day. And said, you'll pay for my medicine? I said, you better believe it. Because he doesn't have food in his house, and he told me he just escaped from a nursing home. And then he proceeded to tell me that he's never been in prison, so he hasn't had to escape from prison. I said, well, thank you, Mr. So-and-so, for clarifying that. But he very much did not want to be in a nursing home, so he left against medical advice, which to him was escaping. So he's been hit on Elm Road in his electric wheelchair just a couple of months ago. And I said, Mr. So-and-so, you don't even have a flag on your wheelchair. So he's not even our participant. And I said, team, get him a flag right now, like a big orange flag on the back of his, on the top of his wheelchair to alert people that he's in the middle of Elm Road.
A lot of these ratings.
But if he qualifies, you can go pick him up and bring him there and.
He said, why?
He's right across the street.
He said, why come over any day? And I said, well, Mr. So, I'd rather pick you up.
Yeah.
I'd rather pick you up. But then again, if he says, no, I'm gonna ride my wheelchair over there, then we better figure it out. Then we're getting on the phone with the city, right? And we're saying, hey, what can we do relative to a crosswalk? What can we do with his wheelchair? Let's make sure it's properly operating, that he always has battery, that he's got all the markers that he needs, but that's his right. To say, no, I don't want to ride on your van. I want to drive across the street in my chair. Okay, so we know he's gonna do it anyway, but he told us, so we're gonna figure out how to keep him as safe as possible so that he can have that independence. So how do we pick our spot? It's walkability, it's accessibility. We're not going to the bougie areas, folks. I mean, like, we have to go.
But you told me you concentrate out into the rural areas, where you don't have the walkability out.
You don't have the walkability there, but the way that we set up, because we're sought out a lot by other PACE programs across the nation. How are you doing that? How are you serving these rural Appalachian populations? How are you doing it? And you're growing so fast. We have a game plan. There are 10 chapters in this game plan, probably more than that. But the way that even our vans, like, you're not going to see 30 passenger vans in our fleets. Hey, you're going to see right now, I think we have 3 transit vans, which are like 7 passengers. And then we'll also have caravans that are going to be added, as long as they still sell caravans, but mini vans. And so we're constantly buzzing out, zip, 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 zip. It's like a hub and spoke kind of a model. So this is our center. Every day, instead of having like 2 big vans going out and picking up 20 people at a time, zip, 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 zip. Like, that's how we're going out and we're serving those rural populations. Now, when I say the walkability, we're gonna have a choice between, do we put it inside a mall, or, we're going to go where the natural traffic will be, where people are going to be driving past and going, let me drive in, let me pull in here and see what this is all about. Because we want to welcome visitors, just unscheduled visitors just popping in. And we want to look at buildings that are already here that need rehab. So that goes into the equation. Of course, cost is going to go into the equation as well, of the building. Like I said, the Rite Aids were a perfect fit for us because, as you saw, it's already wide open floor plan. And that's the footprint of all of our centers that we've built. Site, safety lines, supervision, and they work really well, so.
Got another perfect location.
I am too. I am, well, there's 2 or 3, but
We also have centers that are on 2 floors, that
Yeah.
have, we have the clinic upstairs with the
Elevator.
elevator. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Well, they gotta meet that 200 threshold.
just for a point of interest, okay, I know you can open like an additional site. Or any counties where you have maybe more than 2 sites.
there could be, it all depends on how the population, how the census grows. And I think it's going to grow quickly, so I guess.
Yeah, you think Warren's gonna do very well.
I think so. I mean, it's in first place by far. I mean, just the natural, because I'm here to say the CMS oversees everything. So my website's not even live yet because CMS went in and they said, content's great. I don't like the flow, do this, that, and the other. Okay, well, let's do this now. So my website's not even live yet because I'm still in review with CMS. Fingers crossed it'll be live next week because we're on the 3rd round of edits right now. But once our website is live and we're starting to do more advertising, again, something that we weren't able to do before as a nonprofit, it's because we didn't have those monies. I can get the word out through like digital media advertising, through print advertising and television, which is really going to open up folks giving us a call and checking us out. And that's what I say, you're not committing, you're just checking us out. Like, let's just have a conversation. So that's one of the first steps, is somebody on my team will go out and do a home visit. And we'll talk about the program, and if they're interested in finding out if it's an option for them, we'll do an initial intake packet, just like any of your other, your county waiver programs would do. We have an intake packet. And then as we're moving them through the process, we're educating them on PACE, but then also other resources in this community.
I think it'd be a good idea for her, if we could arrange a meeting with her, with Diane.
Make sure she
And,
has all the contact information.
Mhm.
I think we have to.
I mean, Commissioner Malloy's out on a county business at the moment, but we both see, the benefit here. Absolutely. And if it,
Cards show.
did you give her Diane's information?
No, I didn't give it to.
Oh, do
I
we
have
have?
the card. We have one of her cards.
Because
Yeah.
I want to be that.
And when you see the facility, I mean, it's.
Right,
I mean, I think you told me that even if they can't make it into the center, that you'll go out, pick up their clothes, take it, wash it and dry their clothes and take it back to them. I mean, that's.
And I love that you brought that up, Commissioner, because, our job is to keep our seniors independent. It's a fine line between over helping. So maybe somebody can do their own housekeeping for the most part, keep their house spread up, and they just need laundry support. Well, we don't want to do all of these other things for them because that keeps them independent and strong.
Right.
And so if they just need
They have to
laundry
move.
support, exactly. If they just need laundry support, then when they come into the center, we can go pick up their laundry. We have washer dryers in our centers, but we also have personal care areas. And one of the hard things that I see is, and you can like draw the curtain on me anytime you need to be done. I need to be done talking.
Oh, well, we do have Buckeye here, not your Buckeye.
Oh, another guy.
Yeah, right here. Tom.
Oh, Tom's like, let's cut it, Marcy.
It's just unusual. We have 2 Buckeyes. It's just the Buckeye State.
It's for sure somebody was gonna take Buckeye Pace, especially Columbus. Those
Oh,
stickers out of
right,
Columbus, I thought
right.
for sure they're gonna take the name Buckeye Pace, so of course I go up and grab it up real quick before we were awarded, but. I'm gonna leave our road.
And we have, I've got that,
Okay.
but I think I don't know if I have that. No.
Probably not. I'm
Yeah.
the keeper of these because
Oh,
these are
okay.
more just for all of you
Okay.
as like community leaders. This is just a little bit about our business
Thank you.
and our business.
Can I have one for the office and for
Absolutely.
Commissioner Malloy?
Yeah, 100%. And then I'll leave my cards here as well. And for any questions that come up, I would love to be a resource, or if you know of anybody that would like to come over.
Thank you.
Love to be a resource. And anybody that.
Oh,
you
I
think-
love that.
Oh,
I love that.
Well, I have
The QR code.
We are getting quite.
Very
No, don't
nice.
click on that Buckeye Pace QR.
Don't do it yet.
No, I can't be held responsible. You're not
That's
gonna see
great,
a live
though.
site there, but I
That's
do
great.
give that disclaimer when I give out my new card that, that one's not quite yet, but it will be. It
Have
will
you,
be.
one other question before we let you go. Have you had contact with the city of Warren?
I believe that we had representatives at our ribbon cutting from the city of Warren, but it is my mission to round around the county again myself, just as a resident of this county. And no matter, I adore my team, they are hired for their passion, but because I've been here for 10 years, I can talk a little bit more and answer the hard questions. So I was going to do like a second tour through the county. So any recommendations on where I need to be setting up and who I need to be talking to, just send me an email or a text message.
You know, another thing, Commissioner, she may want to contact, because they're in constant communication is Mike Wilson.
I think there already are.
We
Oh,
met
you are?
quickly, yes, and he was
Oh, you
coming on his son's program, and I'm like,
Okay.
I can't wait to hear more about this.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything having to do with the seniors. And even maybe,
What about the veterans?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Because, you know, we have a great
Yes.
veterans office down here and
Yes.
Carrie, have you had any contact with them?
Not yet, but it is on my agenda, so,
that's why I called you, Carrie.
yes, Carrie, I'll take that as a
Do you have
compliment.
Carrie's number?
I have her number. I can get you her number.
Yeah.
Let me grab that real
That would
quick.
be great.
I don't have her
So
phone
the
though.
really great thing about PACE and the Veterans Association is a vet can join the PACE program, and still keep their veteran benefits, so they get the best of both worlds. And there was just legislation passed called the Elizabeth Dole Act. And it's a little bit vague right now, and we're kind of going, this is great, let's celebrate, but now what are the next steps? And it's basically an act and a bill that was passed to say, because the Veterans Association is focused on improving the accessibility of home and community-based services for their vets, that the PACE program can be a huge partner in that mission that they have to use home and community-based services. So I am working on, I would say, a collaboration piece so that when I go in and I talk with Carrie, I can say, Carrie, here's how we can work together. We can keep your benefits and then we can help you take care of them. Because we can be the bridge into the home. And that's when I talk to primary care physicians in the community, I say, we can help you. So the minute your patient walks out the door, you wonder, are they gonna go get their meds? Are they gonna be compliant? Are they gonna come back? Are they gonna cancel their appointment? We can make sure that all of that happens for you because we can bridge into the home. So same thing with the Veterans Association, like it's perfect alignment of missions.
Good. Well, we can't wait till you come back and say, okay, we're gonna start the second facility.
Well, I might say, so, we're always looking for about, I think one of our biggest facilities is 14,000 square feet, but the sweet spot feels to be about 11,000 square feet, but we have fun.
And how big is the one?
These are a little bit smaller. I'm thinking these are about 10. Yeah,
Nice.
but still doable. I mean, you see,
Quite
Yeah.
impressive.
everything still fits there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Very good.
If you
Marcy,
so
thank
much
you
for
very
this.
much.
need any other phone numbers or names, just let us
Will
know.
do. And I know Commissioner Malloy is out on.
No, well,
vacation,
actually,
but
he
happy to-
is watching. Because he's texting me right now. So he is watching.
Questions.
Well, he,
No, you don't want him to.
Like another meeting. I'm happy
Another
to.
hour and a half.
I'm happy to.
He's at 253 East Market Street.
Okay.
That's her number.
Yes, thank you so much. And one of my team members might have already had contact, but I'll make sure that I follow up.
Sure.
he can send you. Yeah. Anyway, Yes.
If you would like some one-on-one meeting time, I'd be happy to. So,
well, someday I'm gonna stop in and make a
Oh, it's
visit.
well worth it.
Yeah.
yeah, you can
I-
stop in anytime, but if you let me know when you're there, I would love to be the one to walk you around. And if you come after September 1st.
It's gonna be busy.
Participants in there already. Now, if you come in a few months, it's gonna be a party.
Yes.
Well, the more the
Well,
merrier.
Well, we know that it's gonna be successful because we know that you're behind it.
Well, I
You can
hope so.
see that.
Oh,
My
she's
heart,
very passionate.
Yeah.
yeah, my heart is in Pace and my heart is in Trumbull County, and it's my personal mission to reach seniors in Trumbull County.
Senior and veterans, that's what we're about.
That's what we're about. We're gonna find them. They build our community. We have to give back to them.
Thank you, Marcy.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
too.
See you.
Thanks so much, Commissioner. We'll see you
Yep.
soon.
Well, from one Buckeye to the next.
Thanks, fellow Buckeye.
Energy for Trumbull County.
Oh.
Gas or electric.
Well, and if you're running into folks that can't afford their gas or electric, or they don't have it, you call me. Thanks so much.
Denny's positive. Positive. Always so positive.
Oh, my God.
I mean. It's a service. Oh, hi, Tom. How are you?
Yeah. See you. Thanks for working with us on the county building. So took a little back and forth. But we're at the county buildings and the aggregation. They
Right.
were all kind of large. They're not
Yeah.
small commercial. Resi.
When are prices gonna go down?
So yeah, we have some,
That's my first question.
yeah, some good news on gas markets, much different than electric.
Is the gas market stabilizing or going, or is it? It's dropping. But the electric market, yeah, because of,
Get you some charts.
no, well, I'm just hearing a lot about these data centers and everything and drawing electricity.
Yeah. But staying I would say
Yeah.
another 18 months.
How does that work now? How are we like not in a position? Sheraton Commissioner's Office. Literally, it's mind boggling. They want you to buy electric cars and all this stuff that's electric, but yet they want to charge you the earth, sun, moon, and stars.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes no sense to me. And how can you broker electric? Do you know what I mean? Like sell it on the stock market. How does that work?
Yeah, so issue us on this capacity part. So that's set by PJM. So from June 2025 all the way through set now through May 2027. So that's 2 years. It could go another at very high rate. So when suppliers come in, what's $29 a megawatt? Was 270. It is now 270, but in June 2026, it was at 329. So it's went up. So what that means, another 3 cents. So than what we were paying in the past.
Still at 7 cents though then. So we were at 453, right?
Well, that wasn't a market price. That was a price from 4 years.
I love that though.
Yeah.
I don't,
yeah,
the
everybody.
market price should not ever be happening. Like, I think
Yeah.
that is, like, just for example, we'll use the jail's electric. And this is what is wrong with the economy at this point. We went from last year being 26,000 for 1 month. We went to 43,000 in 1 month. For 1 month. $43,000. The public needs to know that's what it costs us to house people at the jail.
Now, yeah, it's gone up a lot. Now, the market went up 2 years ago. Everybody else around didn't have that fixed.
Got you. Because you got us there.
They've been paying those kind of rates, 9 cents for a while.
Yeah.
12.
It hurts.
So that's been a while. But it's really now it's being driven by the capacity. There's no way.
Isn't that something that just like First Energy just increased? Didn't they do one of their, something was increased. I know the gas too, something was,
Control of transmission costs.
got you. Because it's just, you can pick and choose who you want.
It's now larger multi-state organization that does it all the way from Illinois. To New Jersey. It's controlled by PJM. So that's gonna be a while now. After that, we're looking for electric. So I do the certification, so that the county is certified for 2 more years. And then third page is what I want to talk about today, it's the natural gas.
Yeah.
And why I wanted to bring this up, come in. So I have a chart. On the chart. We had kind of a cold winter, so prices went up, prices really spiked up. So here's the
graph.
yeah, it's been right just recently, a sharp drop. So that's why I wanted to come in and start looking. It's kind of driven a little bit by the chart below. Back in March, we had a natural gas shortage. When dark line was real low, not the next. Right about there in March. Yeah, right about there is a gas shortage. But now, the blue line above is actually kind of surplus. So that's why prices are dropping. We got, we're done with that cold winter we had to inject a lot of gas in storage. So there's plenty of gas to go around. We have coming winter. So that's good. So this program renews in March. So there is one winter month. This winter and then something. So with prices dropping, one can talk about it, could be an opportunity to strike something kind of similar to what we have. So right now we're at $3.99, $3.89 seniors. Now Constellation was the only one that had that senior discount. Trying to see if we can get some others to do that, step in
Yeah.
and take that so far. I've gotten that far. But that's something I would be willing to do. Kind of want to renew with me just to keep the senior discount.
So you're saying 399 would be the lock rate?
That is the current lock. 389 for seniors. That goes through March.
We're good with the gas till when?
March.
Oh, March. Yeah, and then from there, you see it still being similar, or do we know? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we just haven't gone out for
Seems
RFP or
like-
anything. I haven't done anything
Yeah.
yet. It'd be on March.
Yeah.
So if the county.
We have to sign it, we have to sign the agreement that we're choosing you in advance for anybody. This is the problem I have with any of CCO, whether CCO, you, whatever. We have to sign an agreement, so no one else can go look at anything for us. We are locked in. And that's not good. Like, I struggle with this. I'm not gonna lie to you, I struggle with all of this because it's just not, it's not right. Like, you can't compare prices with other companies. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Because you have to sign.
We have to sign an agreement that we're gonna stay with you. Or we have to sign an agreement because it's the same with CCO. We'd have to do that with them.
Yeah, well, that's why I came today. There's no agreement on the table. Now, if you
Right.
wanted me to bring in pricing without an agreement,
That's what I prefer. I don't like to sign agreements, and I was the same way with CCAL. Why do we have to sign an agreement to get a cost for an aggregate program that we're supposed to be running
Well,
for our
Now-
constituents?
yes,
That's
for electric.
That's a rule. You have to do that.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm
He
willing
can
to do.
gather
without-
prices
without-
without an
without.
agreement.
And that's what we did for electric.
Yeah,
I looked
he
at
got
full pricing.
yeah.
I was able to get pricing back in December. Okay, sorry, but. We get pricing, and we just went forward. So I would be willing to do that. So that's why I'm here. To say no agreement needed. Bring best pricing that I can bring.
I like that.
And
I mean, I don't, do you see any issue with that, Commissioner? I mean, we don't,
It's all
It's-
kind of
it's not-
mind boggling if you want to know the truth.
I mean,
Everybody,
it's,
we need to be able to compare apples to apples.
Well, exactly.
Oranges to oranges, and I'm not sure with the present process we're doing that.
mhm.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I really,
But, I think it's something that all three of us need to talk about and see where we're going with all this. I mean, every time we talk to somebody,
It's all different.
Yeah. So, the game changes, you know what I'm saying? And we need to get one game. It's all the same.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I know what Tom's saying. He's saying he's willing to do this without an agreement. I guess I don't know, you start somewhere, I guess, but I mean, I don't know.
just to see where prices are, if you can
Well,
garner,
we're not getting until when, till March?
March. and we're at $3.99.
That'll be here quick though.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't do anything about it now, even if we wanted to, because we're locked in till March.
well, no, you could sign today for March flow, April bill. No, you can sign in advance. It's kind of one of the advantages of irrigation.
That we
can
wouldn't wanna
things-
do.
we
We
can
would
do
wanna
things Residents can't.
See what if he's willing to quote a rate, it would be a lock rate. Well, you couldn't quote that until March, because then things can change.
No.
No, he can't, what he's saying
No,
is
he's
lock,
saying he'll quote it now.
yeah,
Yeah,
instead of waiting till March to see what comes.
Yeah.
And if it's down now, is that your recommendation? Because the price is down.
well.
Good,
so
is
it
it a-
was. I mean, I
see
do
where-
have a target in mind.
Okay.
I think is a good rate. It's
Okay,
gonna be so costs have gone up, so I would expect. Price to be a little more than $3.99.
Okay.
I would take a recommendation on that.
we couldn't get $2.99. Come on, Tom.
Certainly try. But, yeah, I would be willing to do that. See if we can get.
Okay.
Acceptable.
It's not gonna hurt to check and see where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. You can. Yeah, what I have here is the rest of this is the comparison of what we've done versus what others have done.
Okay.
Some of the electric.
Yeah, I don't like the gas in Chagrin, $5.29.
Yeah, so, no, it's not about how big the aggregation, it's about, your market timing, how many suppliers you have.
Yeah,
They do one supplier. And if they're not the best,
right,
then they stop,
right.
they stop. So I see the point that going.
Well, like I can tell you what I did on my own is I sometimes shop on my own and I'll get a better rate and I'll change every 3 months if I need to. It's just the luck of the draw sometimes. Like at one point, I did not like the price of the aggregate program, so it was gas in particular until you got us that good rate.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
and this winter, market rate's about $4.5 to $5.
So what you're saying is basically the supply's there, but the price is still gonna go up.
Yeah, because of pipeline costs, that kind of thing. There's two pieces of it. One is price right at the wellhead, and then the transportation of it.
So it doesn't matter if the supply is is up, the price is still gonna go up.
Yeah.
And last year the supply was down,
Pipeline
and the price
transfer.
went up. This year the supply is up, and it's still gonna go up. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that those are
It's just an
facts.
observation, yeah. I mean, we're all like,
So the price is going up no matter what. It would probably go up higher if the supply was down.
Yeah, it would be.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of thought.
But when you tell
We're looking at
somebody,
like
but your
fives.
opening statement was, well, the supply's up, automatically, I think, wow, good, the price is gonna go down, but you're saying, well, that's not gonna happen.
Well, it's gone down from what it was a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, but it's
But
not
not
gonna go
from
down.
the pandemic when we
Right.
locked in 399.
I like that.
That's a different, that was a different scenario, different time.
I want that time back, Tom, not with the pandemic, I do want that time back.
I think
Energy
only-
prices.
I don't know where the chairman wants to go with this, but I know we're gonna have to start looking at it at some point.
Yeah. I mean,
We're
you
getting more
can't keep somebody
educated on
from
it, that's for
quoting
sure.
a price. It doesn't make sense not to, you know?
If we can keep an eye on it and see where we are and like just. I don't want to lock people into something that is too high. That is always my concern.
What's
It's
your
like,
name again, just real
I'm
quick?
not, like, we just said it.
I know, but what do you want me to do?
If
I
we're at
hate
the
saying
table
it.
when we said it, I think
Just
we're.
once you announce it once, it's fine. And
It's
she's
okay.
in view of the camera.
I've heard that before, but then okay. That's all right.
Well, I know what you're talking
You know.
about. Anyway,
Anyway,
All right,
well, we're getting, that's not good.
One more wrinkle, I guess, and this, if I could.
no more wrinkles.
Is it a good wrinkle?
no, he's not looking like it.
Well,
Are there good wrinkles?
yeah, so current programs with Constellation, not gonna read it, mentioned that about a year ago. They were doing opt-in. So that's when, that's where I should call a join. They're not gonna be automatically included like the Trumbull County programs. It's opt out. City of Nile joined a few years ago. Program. They are only opt-in. They haven't put it on the ballot to do opt-out. They want to stay opt-in. But they also want to stay with the Trumbull County. So,
The city announced, I thought they had their own electric.
this is for gas.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So, they'd like to stay. They'd like to be opt-in. That's a unique thing that Buckeye Energy does. We do opt-in. We don't know anybody else. Just wanted to mention that. We'd like to continue to serve them as is. Give them the same price. But keep it opt-in.
How does that affect us? It doesn't really,
It's
does
just
it?
when you contract, eventually you come to a contract,
Yes,
has to be somebody who can serve them,
I got you.
which we can.
Okay,
A lot of
so we would have to ask them.
these electric and gas aggregates are very just, you know, and a lot of stuff there.
You ever hear the
A
saying?
lot of
You ever hear the
options.
saying, they'll confuse you with the facts?
Confusing.
So. Yeah. So
Just mention.
mention that because.
I didn't even,
Set up, you
I
guys-
didn't even know that
you guys-
Niles was in there.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, we just need to really sit down and look at this all.
Yeah, agreed. No, if you can get us prices, I mean, that's fair enough without an agreement.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people telling us that they have to have an agreement to get us price. I am like. 'Cause I don't think
Yeah, we'll run
it's not good business.
So.
Okay.
And
Okay, I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Trumbull County appreciates that.
Okay.
so this is this, so yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the update. We appreciate it. Okay, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Buckeye's gonna be on the mind, huh? Because we got Buckeye things, Buckeye. College.
Mr. Chairman,
You,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Wait, I have one quick question. I was asked to send a press release for a meeting on Friday.
okay, now, Kenny, you're listening.
Thanks, Tom.
Um, I'd like you to call the prosecutor's office. I've already sent him a message prior to the meeting to discuss, the meeting with prosecutor.
And then could someone get back to me by the end of the day?
Yeah, we will.
So I can decide what I need to do.
We will. Denny's in a bad area, but I'll reach out to, I've already texted him. He might text me back, but, we should discuss.
Mr. Chairman, motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Bernard,
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.